Hello, hello. Welcome back to the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast. No more excuses. Yes, I am your host, Sandi Ballard, and welcome back. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing the podcast, and thanks for connecting with me on all the social media outlets. And got a few more new followers, but I'm not sure if it's any of you listening. So if it is, please make sure you direct message me or whatever you do, whatever platform, to let me know that you're a listener. So that's really cool to see. So, jumping right in, last week's podcast was about focus, helping you feel productive, not just busy, right? I had asked the question, what helps you stay focused? What's your strategy? How do you or who helps you get back on track if you're out of focus, right? Some people I heard from say similar to me that they have to-do lists. Not all prioritize like I do, but it works for them, right? But a list does help. Some people write their list on a whiteboard, some people on paper, some have it all on their phone on an app, and some people just set up reminders for important things, like appointments, right? Some people block out time, which I do a lot on my calendar when I have specific things I have to work at chunks of time at, right? And just to get in that habit. I'm in a weekly networking group, and so I always put a reminder on there on Mondays to remind me to log all my information, reach out to people, set up, one-to-one meetings, things like that. So whatever it is that works for you. But I was excited to hear from a lot of people. So with the blockings, not everyone can block out time, right? It just depends on what you do for a living. And I work through this a lot with pretty much all of my clients. I may not at first, but I don't know that they have a challenge with focusing at the beginning all the time, right? So until we don't see progress, then it always goes back to focus. Because if I ask somebody right off the bat, they're going to be like, easy peasy, not a problem. Or I don't have any problems with focus. But then, like I said, lack of progress means focus, lack of focus. People who are unorganized are usually unfocused as well. People who say they need to duplicate themselves or not enough hours in the day. Guess what? Lack of focus. It's amazing the amount of people I've helped find hours in the day that they didn't realize they had. They're too busy freaking out, going down the rabbit trail and rabbit hole, whatever, and go into this spin, right? It's actually really fun to slow them down and see their reaction, and even more inspiring to get a text or at the next check-in meeting how they were excited that all that they had accomplished just by focusing, right? It's like losing that first 5 pounds, or finally losing that 5 pounds. It's like, oh, it's an amazing feeling. And now I know I can do it. So if you focus and you accomplish little things, it starts creating momentum, right? Another thing that goes along with this, reward. I allow myself a mental break after I've done my first 3 tasks on my list. And what do? Well, not many people think about that, right? We all want something, like a prize, don't we? To keep us going, the dangling carrot, so to speak. If your goal is to lose weight and you hit that little, a small, tangible goal, what do? Maybe you buy yourself a new pair of jeans, new pair of pants, new pair of shoes, whatever it is. Our goal is what we're after, that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But the path to get there is full of challenges, frustrations, a circus that we allow to get out of control. So the tasks and to-dos are what get us to the pot of gold. The rewards are what keep us going when the shit goes sideways. And what keeps us from accomplishing small things, baby steps, is focus. See? It's simple, right? We all have to figure out a way to stay focused. For me, it's that busy versus productive feeling. And getting that question, hey, what have you been doing today? How'd your day go? And you stop and you're like, shit, what did I do today? I was doing stuff. It's not like I sat and stared at the TV all day or just read or something. A lot of times, and like I was talking about my client last week, feels busy but not productive. And that helps me snap out of it. But not everyone can do that. So not everyone has a solution either to help them get back on track. So maybe it's a person, maybe it's an accountability coach, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's, a to-do list. But you keep working, work more, work harder is bullshit. I won't say that working smarter, not harder either, because that's, cliche, right? You got to find someone, a coach, an accountability partner, find a tool, an app, anything, some things like that to try out to keep yourself focused and figure out how. So you use your new awareness powers. Remember those awareness powers we talked about? All that awareness you created earlier in January. Use those awareness powers to realize when you're not in focus, right? So if you've tried a couple things to stay focused and it's not working, try something else. Because what works for me isn't going to work for you, right? Might, but you never know. And perhaps try rewarding yourself. Like I talked about, when I get my first 3 things done, those of you who've listened to me for a while know me, know what I do. I play my Words with Friends games. I've got like 3 or 4 games going, right? So I play them in the morning during breakfast, and then I'm not allowed to do another move until I get my 3 things done. So, if you're nudging me, if you're listening and you're one of the people I'm playing and you're nudging me, it probably means I haven't done my stuff yet. I haven't gotten my shit done, so quit nudging. But what is your reward that you're going to give yourself? It could be that infamous social media time. So many times people say, oh, I get caught up on Facebook, went down a rabbit hole. Oh, I got caught up on Instagram or, I don't know, Pinterest, whatever your jam is, right? What is it that you can reward yourself with by getting a few things done? And no, it's not always the hardest thing. I just had a new client come in and say, yeah, we were talking about all this kind of stuff. And she was like, well, you're supposed to do the hardest thing first, right? No, you do the hardest thing when you have, depending on what it is, whether it's going to take hours, whether it's going to just take brain power, if it's going to take energy, whatever it is, you've got to figure that out. Because just because I'm a morning person doesn't mean somebody else is. So somebody else may need to do their hardest thing in the evening or afternoon. You find your sweet spot, right? So there's lots of bullshit out there, lots of ways people say to try. You got to try it. You never know. It may work. But don't get caught up on those things feeling like you have to, right? And this week, I want to know, I want to hear what you've been practicing doing, how you've been practicing staying focused, and now what your reward is. Maybe you already do this. Maybe you already do treat yourself. But so what is it? Email me, sballard@growingforward.biz. Post here in the comments section. Wherever you're listening to this, message me. I want to know how you've been doing practicing your focus technique, what it is, what's your technique, and what you're doing to reward yourself, all right? Because that reward is going to keep you going, keep the momentum going. Because this month is the F month. It's February, and it's all about focus and fun. Have a great week. Cheers.